Listening to that is Shimeon Lee, who's policy analyst at the Taxpayers Alliance. Again, my suggestion, let's have half of them, but pay them double. Your reaction, and what do you think Taxpayers Alliance members would say? Morning to you.
Good morning to you, Nick. What we've always said is that pay rises should depend on performance. And if we look at the record of this parliament, we see an 8-year high tax burden. We see a £2.6 trillion worth of debt going up by £543 million a day. We see the OBR about to downgrade the growth forecast. In per capita terms, we see GDP shrinking. We see public sector productivity down from 25 years ago. And if we look at that record, I think taxpayers will be really puzzled as to what exactly in there justifies a pay rise for MPs.
But how would you do that, Mr. Lee, with 650 different people?
I think you're absolutely right about reducing the number of MPs. We have far too many MPs as it is. We have 650 MPs. That's more MPs than can even fit in the chamber. That's 50% more MPs than the United States. That's 2 times the number of MPs in Canada. That's 4 times the number of MPs as Australia. And it's hard to believe that each and every one of those 650 MPs are actually earning their pay and doing essential work. So you're right on that point.
And so again, let's say there are 300. Just make it. You're not going to have 300 individual pay assessments, are you?
Well, no, but we think that the MP pay should be pegged to something like GDP per capita, for example.
So right. So that's the measure. I see. Okay. So it would effectively be linked. So if the country grows, we all grow. Great. Here's 5%. If it doesn't, here's nothing. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. If the tax burden is the lowest it's ever been, national debt's been wiped out, growth is supercharged, I think people have a lot less problem with MPs earning, 94,000, 100,000.
But lastly, Mr. Lee, what would attract bright people to do that kind of job?
Well, I'm not really sure if the pay actually does attract bright people to do the job. If you look at the United States, for example, they have considerably higher remuneration for their members of Congress. I think it's £130,000 compared to about £90,000 here. If you look at the average quality of a United States congressman, I think you'd be hard pressed to argue that the quality of an average US congressman is much higher than the quality of the average British MP.
All right. Good speaking with you. Thanks. Shimeon Lee, policy analyst at the Taxpayers Alliance.